Hello, everybody, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas!
Hey, welcome to our year-end roundup here in the Pump House, which we're doing with the whole team. And we haven't quite adapted to having the whole team in videos and having lapel mics for everyone yet. So we've got these wonderful Terry Wogan-style mics today. We are going to cover the past, the present, and the future in the pure Christmas spirit. A Christmas story to be told today with Holly, with Richard, with Dan, and with Scrooge.
Bah humbug.
So we're going to use the videos that we've released as a vehicle. I think that's probably the best way to go over things today. We're going to talk around the videos. We're going to check in with Dan about how the museum side of things are going, Jason from the Dev Den, Holly with repairs, and Richard with Heber's current developments, and we'll try and eke some of his secret plans out of him because he does hold them close to his chest. Give him some more mulled wine and they might come out. So I've got my phone here with the list of videos that we've released in the last year. So let's just go through this. This is completely unscripted and unplanned, by the way. So let's just see how it goes, shall we? So Richard, the first video that we released really leaned on you heavily. I think this is what you were doing last Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. This was, yeah. So this was after the computer space we did the year before. We had some wonderful contact from people, and one was from Ed Fries, which he gave me a challenge. I think it was on Twitter, and said, how about doing this one next? And I just said, okay, and got on with it. So over Christmas last year, yes, that's what I was doing. I was creating Space Race as an full arcade cabinet.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise. We came back and you said, surprise, look what I've created, with a 3D scan from Ed Fries, who was the former head of Xbox at Microsoft. Is that right? Yeah. So lovely chap to talk to. That is now in the arcade. How's it doing in there, Holly? Is it broken yet?
It's not broken, no. It's a surprisingly big hit. It's actually really, really good. It's really exciting, and most people want to play it every weekend.
There's a high score challenge on that, isn't
there?
There
is.
is.
21 is the world record now to beat.
World record.
We don't care about the rest of the world. That's it. We are the world.
There can't be many of those in the world to set world records on.
I don't think there are, no. Not saying not to play on.
What the space race record is.
Yeah, I think Ed thought there was probably less than 5 still existing. So yeah it's quite nice to have that.
And then shortly after that, in I think it was the end of January, start of February, we released the video which said "Welcome to the Retro Collective," which became the new channel trailer. Because you'll remember in 2024, in October, it was the patrons who we told first about the collective, about the coming together, and about our plans. And then we went public with that at the end of January to talk about how Heber, the Arcade Archive, and the Cave were all coming together to work together on content. And I have to say, we were expecting a bit of pushback, a bit of, oh no, rebranding again. Oh, what are you doing, guys? But it just went so smoothly. So first of all, thank you to everyone for coming along with us on that change. Any feedback from you guys on that? Was it smooth sailing as far as you were concerned?
Yeah, it seemed really good. We had quite a lot of feedback, and a few people just said it's about time.
It's about time, yes. Yeah, because it naturally got to that point. And we'll talk about the future a bit later and how we're continuing down that path. So that was really nice. The trailer itself got 31,000 views. Maybe we should just make more trailers.
That'd be good.
Is that what you want? And then we talked about what now for the channel. That was probably the last time we all sat together as a team and chatted. And that's when we introduced the idea to redo the pump house, which would move us away from off-site containers, which we were using for storage. And we wanted to turn the pump house into, well, Holly, what did you envisage the pump house being originally?
Originally, we thought we'd just make a little bit more storage to mirror the mezzanine that was in here, insulate a bit around the drafty areas, splash of paint. That's about it. It was sort of storage and a bit more workshop-y.
So that's when we came up with the idea of the digital download bundle, and you bought it in your masses. It was really surprising. I mean, just tell us, guys, about the response you had when you saw what was happening. Where were you?
I was quite amazed. I think Dan was keeping most tabs on it because he had done the website.
It was good fun refreshing the page to see the sales.
Yeah.
Really.
You'd end up checking it like about a dozen times a day.
Very satisfying.
Just to watch the money go up.
And we were hoping for a few £1,000s at best, and we were expecting it still to be a damp warehouse, but a step up from off-site containers. That's what we wanted, wasn't it, really? Just something slightly better than containers. And of course, those that have followed us this year, you know what happened next. It went absolutely ballistic. We had our wonderful anonymous donor who fund matched up to £25,000, which I think was a wonderful thing to do because it encouraged everyone else to put money in the pot because they knew they were effectively doubling their money. It was such a great thing to do. So you know who you are, and thank you again for that. And it has resulted in the room we're sat in today, which hasn't been fully revealed to you yet. There's one more episode to make. The main reason being, Richard, what's the last sort of step that we're doing in here to finish it?
We're just over Christmas. We're finishing off the flooring and sort of some of those nice finishing touches. So once we've got the flooring in and we've put a bit more racking in and we can finally empty the containers, which is great, then we'll have a lot more to be able to show you about the finished space.
Yeah. The real hold up is the paint on the floor, because obviously we can't walk on the floor while the paint's drying and we're trying to find a week when we don't need to be in here. So that's likely to happen over Christmas, isn't it? And then we'll do the full tour and reveal. But that hasn't stopped me from emptying the containers of games to go in the library so far. And there's quite a lot of duplicates, aren't there, Dan?
Yeah, a few boxes. A few boxes.
You're going to help me do something with those duplicates, aren't you? We haven't quite figured out what, but got some ideas?
I think we'll look to maybe offer those for sale for those that are interested. I think that would be quite a nice thing to do, really, and help support the museum.
Yeah. Have you got a copy of The Hobbit by any chance?
Oh God,
I haven't
so
actually
many
gone through
copies
it.
of The Hobbit, and Make a Chip and Mini Office
Make a
2
Chip.
for some reason. What else keeps coming? A lot of Sensible Soccers, and Jeff Crammond's F1 GP. Loads of copies of that, which has just been re-released, hasn't it?
Oh,
or is being re-released?
Yeah, I just found that out this morning. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
as
not out yet, but next year, I think.
GC F1, is that right?
Jeff Crammond's. I think it's Jeff Crammond's Racing.
Racing, something like that. So there
It doesn't have
You
F1.
can't use F1.
Yeah.
It's just Jeff Crammond's Racing.
And Dan was laughing this morning at the required specs for that game, because the original needed a 286.
One megabyte of memory.
Yeah, and on Steam it needs a 2090 GPU and Anyway, we're going off on a tangent there. So yeah, duplicates we are going to make sure we redistribute either through giving away, selling, donating to other museums. We'll find the best place for them all. And we can already see we're going to save a huge amount of storage just from the duplicates, which will make room for more games and more things here at the museum. And that's a good point to say thank you to you all for your donations this year, whether you've posted them in, whether you've turned up with a ticket for the museum and dropped donations off. Seeing what is coming out of the boxes proper now that we have time to actually dust them off, put them on shelves and see what we've got, there are some incredible things. And I think I'll include that in the tour when I give it to you. Some of our actually, no, let's do it as part of today's video. Let's do something Christmassy. So you will get a little look at the library a bit later. We'll pop down, and I think we should all choose a game that makes us feel Christmassy and talk about why.
Definitely. It's definitely been your Christmas treat, even just opening up those boxes.
Yeah,
So,
Richard keeps catching me in the library, just cleaning games, delaying everything else I should be doing, because it really is my happy place at the moment. So we'll go down. We'll find you a copy of The Hobbit, Ollie. Did you have The Hobbit? You must have had
I did have The Hobbit, absolutely.
Yeah, it's quite good.
And then I did a video on the rise and fall of Amiga Format, my favourite magazine from back in the day. And that video delighted me because a lot of the former Amiga Format people, including the editors, came and commented on that video. And it's so powerful to be able to put a video out and get a response from those people. It's incredible, the reach that we're getting. So thank you to everyone who enjoyed that. Richard, tell us about data stored in bubbles, because this is the biggest video of the year and the third biggest video of all time on the channel with 439,000 views. You put weeks of planning into this, didn't you?
Absolutely. It was quite an off-the-cuff one. I think we did it in an afternoon. You got some bubbles to demonstrate some of the scientific principles involved. And it was really fun because we've had this Konami bubble system sat in the arcade for some time. We've been a bit scared to power it up. So we wanted to see where we're at and whether or not we could do something with it in the future. But your idea of actually explaining the bubbles was really good. So we sort of managed to get a whole video out of it.
Yeah, and it was a huge video. And we're not really fans of clickbait titles, but we do see the power of choosing a very succinct topic and really honing in on that topic. And people seem to enjoy the sort of the clarity and the focus of a video like that. Explained in 15 minutes, something really fun and unusual. So if there's anything out there that you'd like us to explain, suicide batteries is one that came up. you might like to cover, or anything like that. Drawing on Richard and Holly's experience, Dan's stickers and Jason's Scrooge comments. Then we'd be happy to put that together as individuals or as a team, which is something we will be doing a lot going forward. And working out how we can up that video content for you next year. But we'll come on to that in a minute. Let's carry on through. We've had lots of guest speakers, Dan. So we had, what's the Obsolete Games website?
Games that weren't.
Games that weren't.
Frank Gaskin, yep.
So Frank came and talked to us about guests in general this year. How's it been? Because it's Dan who books and arranges all the guests in the museum.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve for me to try and first establish who we can bring in and whether they'd be interested or not, on a bit of trying to talk them around to convince them to come in. But yeah, it's been good fun. Well, Steve Ferber is obviously the big highlight.
Massive
for me. Yeah. A guy I used to work with, Stuart Paul, gave us a kind of different angle on the games industry and his kind of career path through games development and working as a producer in the industry, which was really well received. Quite a different subject matter for us, but yeah, nice to have a contrast in the talks, I think.
Yeah. Jason, did you have a favourite guest speaker this year? I know last year you were very excited about some of the devs that came.
That's right.
Not so many devs this year.
No, not so much. Not so much.
No,
I have to say, I really enjoyed Frank's speech, the Games That Weren't thing. That was really fascinating.
And I know you've been thinking with Dan about possible future guests, haven't you? And
oh yeah. I got a few personal favourites that I'm going to try and target, but we'll see.
Yeah, and it's a good chance to ask you guys while you're watching, if you can think of any people that you'd love to see here as a guest speaker in person, or also, of course, we record them so they'd go out as videos. Then do let us know. Just based on what we were talking about a minute ago, Jeff Crammond.
Yeah, I don't think there's much chance of that.
Why not? Why not, Dan?
Jeff is very reclusive, so I don't think. Yeah,
that's from you say that from experience.
Yeah, very very shy. Really nice guy, but very very shy. So I don't think we've got much chance of that.
Oh, Jeff.
You never know with the resurgence of the new games. Who knows?
Maybe it'll go on the marketing trail. Yeah. Anyone else got anyone on their wish list?
I know Sophie Wilson would be quite good.
Oh, Sophie Wilson would be great. Yeah. Richard. Doesn't have to be games, could be 3D printing.
All I can think of is Peter Molyneux, but you do.
Peter Molyneux. I'm not selling tickets.
Yeah.
I'm depending on him to turn up. For those who don't know, I booked him twice for a tea break and he failed to turn up twice, so I gave up. He's a very busy man. Yeah. But someone we did talk to was Wild Bill Steely, one of my favourite tea breaks, such an enthusiastic man. And speaking of tea breaks, I think I've said this for years, but I am working on Retro Tea Breaks Volume 2. It will happen. And it's likely to happen next year because we will not be doing any projects next year, right, guys? No projects next year. We'll get to that. Acorn Atom, that was my first chance in the Trash to Treasure series for the Atom. My first chance to get my hands on an Atom because it was a very early home micro in the UK. Did anyone know anyone with an Atom? You had an Atom. Yeah.
I had one later, but much later on.
Yeah. And actually, when Steve Ferber visited, I got him to sign a games compilation pack with a version of Asteroids that he wrote for the Atom. And when he signed it, he said to me, do you know, that's the only piece of software I've ever had published. So there you go. Wow. Definitely a hardware man, but he did have one game released in his life. Then we had the Retro Dev Den tour. So we finished the Dev Den. Yeah. We gave people a tour of it. How's it gone since then?
It's gone really well. Yeah. It's as I said in the video at the time, it's proven very popular with visitors. But obviously, it would be nice to make some changes in there and freshen it up. I've been a bit busy this year with the Pump House, obviously, but I've got lots of plans to make a few changes and keep it interesting.
And we'll make sure we get a few videos out of the Dev Den this year as well on the channel. Then we had an emergency. We had to hire some vans and rush over to London. Do you remember that? Because a chap contacted us and said, I've got a warehouse full of retro. I need to leave the country. I need it gone. So we rushed over there and, there was a video called Piles of Retro where I just went through my retro piles and and you saw what we had. And yes, there was some rubbish in there, but it was well worth doing it to find the diamonds in the rough. Some rare Japanese games, some lovely systems, some broken systems, which will make for great future series, some arcade cabinets.
Indeed, yeah. Virtua Fighter 2.
Which is very popular.
Very, very popular, yes.
What was the really old rare one?
Oh, the Volley.
Oh, yeah.
No, Volley.
Volley.
Yeah, Volley. Ramtex Volley. I'm really looking forward to doing a video on that.
Yeah, and that will happen. And you'll see there's an arcade machine behind us now because the lift's working in the pump house. You can't see, we've got Paperboy, Chase HQ needs a bit of tweaking, Road Blasters, which Richard is working on, we'll talk about that later, and Track and Field, which needs some monitor tweaks. All up here, all accessible. We've got capacitors filling up the cubby holes behind us. How does it feel, Holly? How does it feel to have a workshop and tools available?
It's incredible. It's absolutely amazing. It's only really this morning and yesterday that I've actually been to use it properly. It's great.
Yeah.
Makes a change from it not being in the back of your car.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a running joke. Where's such and such? Oh, it's in the
back of my car.
Oh, I left it at home. Oh. Everything will be here now, which is brilliant. We've just got to find space, Dan, haven't we, for some of your printing equipment?
Yeah, quite a bit of space, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah. Printers that do side art for arcade machines are big old units, aren't they?
Yeah, mine's not quite wide enough to cover an entire side. So
You've made recommendations to us on what printer we need.
Yeah.
And we would love to do that. We'd love to have that facility in here to reproduce the art where we can restore the original art. So that'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, what we don't want to do is have to outsource that kind of thing because you lose a little bit of control then. So I think it will just kind of bring all of the restoration gear together really in one place. So it's
It's nice to show the whole process as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's get back to the videos. Where were we? Oh, there's something called the Mr. Multi-System 2. What was that? Anyone remember?
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Richard, this is one for you.
Yeah, definitely. We've had quite a lot of fun making that. It was a thing we always wanted to make when we made the original multi-system, but times were difficult. You couldn't get hold of components and we couldn't design it as we wanted. So it was nice to be able to throw ourselves into that. We showed it to everyone about this time last year. I think it was about November. That's last year. We gave everyone a preview, got some test units out to people and spent months and months basically just testing and trying everything, finding a few bugs, fixing it, and going through a few revisions until we got to about April time and decided to give it a launch. And we were expecting a certain number and we were worried about the stability of our shop and the website and everything else. So we sort of launched it, and I was on holiday, so I was down on the southwest coast on a beach, and I had no phone signal. So the last signal I had was from Neil, I think, saying it's almost 2:00, and that was when the launch time was going to happen. And I was hiking my way up to the top of this massive cliff so I could get a phone signal, and had no phone signal. Got to the top, and the phone went absolutely mental. Tons and tons of orders and tons of things happening. So I breathed a sigh of relief.
Thank goodness, from the top of a cliff, what could have been?
Yeah,
no
I
sales.
know. That would have been quite bad for me. But I was just as pleased that the website hadn't crashed and everything was working. So it was very nice to have that. And thank you all so much for your support. It's made a real difference to our retro plans for the future, because this was something we really, really wanted to pivot towards and do a lot more of. And because there's a market out there, because there's interest in the products we're making, and we seem to be making the products you want, we're doing more of them. So we'll talk a bit more about that later.
Yeah, okay, when we get to the future plans. So that takes us about halfway through the year on the videos. And of course, something I always look forward to on the videos is your comments. But some of them are a bit less friendly than others. Some make us laugh and we share them on our little WhatsApp group between each other. And some are just bizarre. So let's take you through 4 or 5 of our favourite comments of the day at Big Chair. Should we try that again with the microphones turned on? I think we should. Hello 2025 commenters. Let's see what you had in store for us this year. We start off with Planet X Surveillance Dinkwe5766, what a name, and he says, love this channel. 2 openly gay men tinkering around without a care in the world. Why is this comment giving me deja vu? 2 gay men. 2 gay men. Well, we are nothing if not consistent in the gaiety with which we perform our duties to you. Fake, 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 says, hey, 6338. Would a fake man do this? I thought not. You take that back. Okay. Meanwhile, Platycressita 1719 says, solar power in the UK? Lol. Well, he's got a fair comment, really. When you think of the UK, you think of grey skies. So let me just take you down to reception now, where you can see the dashboard of the solar panels, which Hebel were so kind to install for their own benefit, but also for our benefit and anyone else in the building this year. It certainly brought down the service charges for everyone, which was much appreciated in these times of expensive and increasingly expensive power. And you may not think it to be effective, but actually it powers over 30%, sometimes nearly 40% of the overall power usage of the entire mill. And this is a big building. That includes the pump house as well. And if you think about it, we open our museum to the public on a Saturday when all the other businesses, the rest of the mill, is closed down. So we effectively run the entire museum, all of these CRTs and all, pretty much on 100% renewable green power. Are we the only renewable green computer museum in the world? I don't know. I'm not going to make that claim, but those solar panels are probably more effective than you might think when you think of our grey skies. Solar power in the UK? It's as good as French kissing in the USA. Say Mega Drive again, says Jimmy Rings 2550 in his best Samuel L. Jackson impression. All right, Mega Drive. There's always one guy in the office who perhaps makes up for personality in his loud shirts and is far too proud of them. Anyway, here's someone called Dan Loudshirts. He says, I remember taking a strong magnet into Smith's once and waving it all over the discs on ST format, as I was an Amiga man, so anybody who got a copy, bought a copy with a disc on the front, got home to find absolutely nothing on it. What a monster, Dan. To think you only did it to ST format when there were so many other Atari magazines there that it should have been done to. Meanwhile, Robust Revi ... I seem to have chopped his name off, sorry sir, says the most ChatGPT script I've ever heard. The clunky bit about the bike at 7 minutes 29 is a common trope that it tends to add. Well, a lot of people fall into the AI trap, if you want to call it that, and I know there's a lot of ill feeling about AI, but I can tell you with absolute certainty that none of my scripts are written with the help of AI. Whenever I've used it to try and research, in its current state, I just can't trust the results it gives me. And it would take more time to triple check everything that it tells me than to just go and look it up myself. So while you've seen me use it for pseudocode in the Pump House Panic game that I made, I certainly don't use it in my script. Although perhaps I should use it for a reply to this gentleman.
I did use ChatGPT for the script, though I did use it for this reply, and I have enjoyed it more than I probably should. Not because I was short of words, but because it felt fitting to involve a system designed to patiently address confident but shallow conclusions. The bike section is a deliberate human digression, left in precisely because it doesn't behave like the aggressively flattened, hyper-predictable content you appear to be benchmarking against. I'll be honest, explaining this has been genuinely satisfying. There's a particular pleasure in spelling out intent for someone who mistook a moment of unpolished humanity for automation. Still, thank you for the comment. It's always interesting when a response manages to reveal more about a reader's limitations than the work they're commenting on.
Meanwhile, Scion Fiction 9566 lives up to his name with this work of fiction. I wish you'd stop fetishizing this stuff. These are cheap, consumable magazines from 30 years ago. They are not ancient codices that need to be protected from oils on your fingers. The value in these things is not the ink or paper, it's from the articles and advertising within them. So please, upload scans to the Internet Archive and then do something useful with them, like recycle them. I know you're a channel celebrating retro IT equipment, but you can do that without fetishizing literal garbage. People will see you handling mags like this, and some bunch of corrupt morons will start grading magazines and sealing them up in nitrogen-filled acrylic boxes. That's exactly what happened to NES games. I like your stuff generally, Neil, but this fetishization of computer equipment has been infecting your content for a while. Amigas don't need to be treated like 17th century teacups. It's absurd. Please stop. Well, somebody has a fetish about the word fetishizing, it seems. I won't stop. I shan't stop. I mean, if people had just drawn pictures of 17th century teacups in the 17th century, where would we be today for 17th century teacups in museums? It makes no sense to me. It's absurd. Stop these comments. Or as I replied, thank you for your feedback. Mr. Hat 5823 joins us now, and he says, another mid-roll shill. Thumbs down. Why does this guy hate Christmas? I don't know, but who are you? I'm the ghost of Christmas past, and like Mr. Hat, I wish I knew a good PCB, 3D printing, CNC milling and design service. Well, you and Mr. Hat are in luck, because I'm the ghost of Christmas present, and what you need is PCBWay.com. Ooh, get someone living or dead to log into PCBWay.com and check out their special Christmas discounts and vouchers, because unlike Mr. Hat, they love Christmas. Even if for them in China it's mostly a secular commercial event and not a religious celebration. Ooh. Well, Christmas is for everyone, even you, Mr. Hat. Who are you? I'm the ghost of Christmas future. I remember when we had a sponsor. I mean, nobody likes adverts, particularly the British who grew up with the BBC. Please don't flood the comments about the BBC right now. But we grew up without adverts on many of our channels, and it's particularly jarring to see the amount of adverts that YouTube often puts on videos and other platforms to pay for Netflix and then have adverts put on it. It makes no sense to me. It annoys me. But just step back. We're running a museum. We need income streams to run this museum, to keep it open to people, and those include the ad revenue from YouTube, the ticket sales, the shop here. We're trying to spread the risk through all of the different ways that we can raise money to keep the museum going and the channel going. And mid-roll shilling, as you call it, is a part of that. Although I have tried to make it more interesting this year with the different approach to PCBWay adverts that I've taken. And people seem to have responded to that well. So I'm going to keep doing that for as long as PCBWay will tolerate it. And hopefully even you, Mr. Hat 5823, will enjoy that. PCBWay! Trizit joins us now and is most concerned about something very specific. He says, 050, dude, your ESD strap is so loose, it doesn't do a shit. For some reason, I think that would sound better in Italian. Dude, your ESD strap is so loose, it doesn't do a shit. Doing comedy accents badly is never a good look, says Tuppy Glossop 222. Thanks to Trizit's comment, I think we've just proven that not to be the case there. I didn't know you'd gone full woke. Why did you woke your name? LOL, says Retrobytes V65 and Controller Head. What can I say? Go woke, build a pump house. I call my bedroom the pump house, says Andy. Fair enough, Andy. The pump house sounds like a gay nightclub, says the grey man. Perhaps a way to fund the cave. Well, I was just talking about revenue streams. I'll add it to the list. 2 gay men. 2 gay men. It's nice to see Richard dressed for an archaeological dig in 1930s Egypt. Fair enough, Paul Ward. Oh, you're from the UK. No thank you, says James K9375. Come on, James, just one custard cream won't hurt you, and a nice cup of tea. We can depend on Erox Brox 8484 to lower the tone, can't we? CD32, more like 32 up my butt. A true 32-bit gamer. Why is the guy from Deadly 60 selling me a games console? Says Kevium 1066.
But I wouldn't normally ask someone to do that. But I knew if I didn't, I would have to be going back to him constantly saying, can you measure this?
David Yude was delighted when he visited the cave and says, I met CPC. CPC, whose real name we've discovered is, what's his name? Simba. But I know him as CPC, Car Park Cat. His owner, we've discovered, lives behind the pump house. Hello, if you're watching. And it's a pleasure when he comes to visit, although we haven't seen him so much lately with the cold weather. We've been advised on what we can and can't feed him based on operations he's having. He's quite an old boy as CPC, but we love to see him and we'll take good care of him whenever he comes to see us. Disappointed to see you are no longer going to be a pump house channel, says Control-Alt-Reese. Well, fear not. Reese has got his own new space, which he's doing up. So if you want some pumping, head over to Reese's channel. And we wrap things up with a comment from an Amiga owner. Hi, the best Amiga? Better say the shittest Amiga. I was a diehard Amiga fan that day. Had the A2000 with GeForce. Did I leave the oven on? 316 meg and the piggyback GeForce GFX. Whatever happened to Tori Amos? A2286 Genlock. Later the Picasso 2 Plus. I wonder how many mince pies I could eat in one sitting. Graphics and the G-Storm 060 to the very last upgrade when I bought the Pulsar 2 Mac clone with two 603E-/233 128 meg Jazz IBM DNES 9.1 SCSI HD. I'm hungry. 2000 for around $5,000 back in the early 2000s. By the time the A3000 should have come out with the new AA DSP like the one the Atari Falcon had, true 16-bit sound, they dumped it. What would happen if you pressed Control-Alt-Reese? Commodore didn't want AA. The sound chip was so good the developer founded its own. I should think about a rebrand. AA was cancelled as being too expensive to put in it, so they forced the dev team to design an all-new... Am I Neil? Or am I Ham? Forgot the name, useless anyway. When we wanted AA, Z3, and the least of the 04025, they gave us an ECO 3333, no DSP, a slightly boosted 2 meg ECS. So our lovely comments, thank you everyone, and look forward to comments on this video too. Let's get back into the video. So the Pump House project started proper, when did we announce it? 7 months ago. And then that was sort of assessing it, Lily giving us the history on the mill. And then 6 months ago is when we put out the video that we'd really started it proper. Can you believe it? 6 months, that it feels like 6 years.
I'm going to say, yeah, I can believe it.
It feels sort of both just yesterday and a long time ago. We've done so much, but when I think back on that first, we stepped in with the sledgehammers and started knocking everything down. It felt good. It felt really good. Yeah.
It felt good. Didn't quite understand the enormity of the task ahead at that point.
No.
I certainly didn't.
You didn't, I did.
Holly did.
I did.
And we all mucked in. Holly sort of leading the charge, but in a huge amount of hours. Just to remind you, some of you know this, but many don't. Holly lives 3 hours away. So that's her commute to get here. 6 hours of driving, 3 hours here, 3 hours back. But that is going to change because you are currently... Here's an appeal. If anyone has a flat in the Stroud area that you'd like to rent out...
Absolutely, I'm looking to rent.
with lots of space for parts and arcade machines, okay?
No,
so
no arcade machines, no parts.
Where was I? I've gone completely lost my trail of thought.
Pump House.
So Holly, Jason put in hours and hours and hours of his life into painting and painting and painting, rubbing down and painting, and with just how he didn't get bored of it, I don't know, Jason.
It's a Zen thing.
It's a Zen thing. Yeah. Okay, so you enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, go that far.
How do you not just look at these trusses? That they took you like 2 weeks, didn't they?
I'm pretty sure he definitely got bored of it.
But we soldiered on with you guys in mind, because of course you'd made this project possible. You turned it into this monstrous project that wasn't a new mezzanine in a damp warehouse, and was actually a complete conversion, completely insulated, completely soundproofed now, as you'll see in the final video. It's just an incredible space, and I don't want to leave it. And you don't have to go up all the steps to get to the cave.
That's true, yeah.
A few people have commented when we've made videos in here saying, what happened to the cave? Well, be assured it still exists. the idea is that we fix things in here, and then their final resting place is in the cave where everyone can enjoy them. So that's where we reveal the things we've repaired from the workshop here. So that was the start of the pump house, and that really took over the channel for the rest of the year. So kind of an apology because video output lessened. That affected your viewing, so sorry that you didn't get so many, but hopefully there was a lot of content in those pump house videos for you to enjoy. It affected us in terms of views, subscribers slowed down, ad revenue slowed down. So that was a bit of a painful pinch, but we knew it was worth it because we knew that when it was built, we could really, really up our game, which is what we're going to be doing. And hopefully you saw a bit of that in the Amiga 3000 video recently, the Rob Smith video. We're really going to make good use of this space. So sorry about the pain, but it's for the long term, it's going to be brilliant.
Quite a lot of people liked the Pump House videos as well. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a few people that miss them.
I was just worried about becoming a Pump House channel,
Yeah.
a DIY channel.
It was a big thing, and there was always the end goal in sight, and even the couple of things we've done in here already show that everything works so much more smoothly, so much more efficiently, and it does mean the museums stay as museums, and we're not panicking about, let's get a desk out, find some tools. We can actually treat them as proper museums and do everything else we need to do, including all the content, all the restorations, all the preservation efforts in a dedicated space, which is just wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And we did have a Pump House launch day, a ribbon cutting. As we say, it wasn't quite finished, but it was finished enough to show people around. And we used that to put the pressure on ourselves to get it to that point. I mean, the weeks leading up to that open day were intense. We were like putting long hours in and a lot of work, but it needed to happen. Otherwise we wouldn't be where we are today. So thank you to those who booked a ticket and put the pressure on us to get that finished. It was a great day. That was the day that Rob Smith was here. And it was a big day. We had lots of people. And again, that's the beauty of it. Having this space now means that we can have more people come to public days because we can spread them all out. Everyone's not crammed into one space. So great day. Where do we get to then? Let's just swerve from the Pump House because there's a lot of Pump House and you've had a lot of Pump House content recently. So can I write an Amiga game? Can I write an Amiga game?
I think you can, yeah.
Yes.
Apparently so, yeah.
So this was me writing a Pump House Panic game, loosely, not even loosely, massively based on Pipe Mania. I really enjoyed that, and I did carry on developing it for a period after the video. So there are things like little captions that appear between each level with a little story. Holly needs to get her coffee, because I've changed it from just being Pump House to like you can have coffee pots and coffee going down the pipes, things like that. But I never finished it because then I got really drawn into the Pump House again. So that is waiting to be finished. I'm a little bit scared at this point that I won't remember how any of it worked. You know what it's like.
You need to finish it.
You know how it is like. You get so into coding and you just eat, sleep and breathe that code. And then when you stop, it all falls out of your head. And it's not like my college days when I was forced to document every line of code and show pseudocode and flow charts and how everything worked. I haven't got a clue how any of that worked. So I'll go back and I'll figure it out because I would love to show that on the finished Amiga 3000. There's a little demo.
That'd be nice.
My game on that. We had our arcade rates talk. That was a real highlight of the year where Tony Temple and Ollie, what's Ollie's surname?
Something I was say Maserati, but it's not Maserati.
Ollie Maserati and Tony Temple came and did a talk on arcade raids, and it was a really wonderful insight, but also a really wonderful use of the unfinished Pump House. Holly was slightly nervous
on the launch of the Pump
about
House.
people being in the unfinished Pump House.
Yeah,
But we'll move on.
My calculations worked.
We restored tubing. That was another video. That was my tubing has no tubing.
No, we argued over tubing.
Oh, we argued over tubing.
Yes.
That was in the video. That was fun. Have you guys made up?
Yeah, I
Did
think
you get
so.
Holly a new ruler to measure things properly?
It was Richard's fault.
It was
definitely.
Richard's fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, brave man. Brave man.
No comment.
And then we couldn't use the monitor anyway because it wasn't a medium resolution
Yeah, okay.
monitor.
We're working on that.
A moment's uncomfortable silence. And moving on. we have got a tube in there now. So we've got a 31 kilohertz PC monitor that fits perfectly and has a lovely curve on the screen. So it's not a medium resolution Atari monitor, or what would have been included. Who would have made those monitors for Atari?
Wells Gardner made one. Who else made one?
Well, it's not one of those. It's a PC monitor, but it's the best we can do, and it looks great. And you're just doing some fettling to fit the circuit board in there and put the back on the machine, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then coming back to Heba, you showed real physical cartridges working on the multi-system.
Yeah, that was something we always wanted to do with Multisystem 2. So we produced an extra expansion connector on the edge of the Multisystem 2. Take one of the wing flaps off and you can plug in different cartridges. So the first one we've done is the Game Boy Color, and it does support Game Boy Advanced. Our engineer Nick has tweaked the FPGA code so we can actually run real carts in real time, so we can do even the camera, the Game Boy camera and that sort of thing, which shows it's happening in real time. Printer, yeah, that works. So that's a really nice project, and it's sort of a reference design. We're going to fully release it as open source hardware, and we've released all the cores, and also make it available in the shop if anyone wants to buy it. We don't think it's going to be a huge seller, but if people want to buy it, it will be there. And if you want to develop more cartridge interfaces, this is an example design, basically. So if you want to do a Master System 1, Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, that sort of thing, it gives you an idea of how to start.
So you could potentially put a Master System cartridge adapter on there, and maybe put it in a nice Master System-y case and have a...
Certainly could, yeah. You could. The mechanical arrangement you could have for the cartridge means that, you could do exactly that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm trying to skip over the Pump House videos here, but I am chuckling a bit because 2 months ago I released a video that said, normal service will now resume. Didn't quite happen. It was with the best intentions to start churning out the videos. We did do a nice donations video, actually, and then we did do the Neo Geo restoration cab. So normal service did resume, but then we got sucked into the Pump House again on that final sprint to get it finished. Again, I've thanked you already for the donations, but thank you again for wonderful things like the Osborne machine that came in. We'll do an episode on that. And well, let's just talk a bit about that Neo Geo cab, because that's gone into the arcade and it's developed a little bit further since that video, hasn't it?
It certainly has, yeah. Dan came up with a lovely idea of presenting the cards, theming it Neo Geo, so people can actually choose the card they want for the game and swipe it.
Yeah, and a lovely display stand. That wasn't 3D printed, was it, that display stand?
No, it's a wooden stand, but I've put decals on it basically to theme it the same as the cabinet. So yeah, it's great fun. My
favorite game on there?
Cab.
Favorite game?
I can't ever remember the name of it. It's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Well, that narrows it down.
No, it really does. I mean, most of them are 1v1
Most of them are one-on-one
fighters,
fighters, aren't they?
So they're quite rare.
I remember the
actually.
first time I played Double Dragon on the Neo Geo. I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I love Double Dragon, and it's a one-on-one fight.
Yeah, it's quite good though. Yeah, it's quite good.
It's better than the Rosetta Stone. Yeah. Anyone else favourite games on the Neo Geo?
The Sprite Stars one, I quite like that.
I like that. It's good. Yeah.
I'd never even played that before until it was on the cabinet, so that was quite nice just to be able to play that. But the whole Neo Geo cab build was a eureka moment for me, because it was the first time we got to use our stations, sets, and everything else. And there was this one point where you came in and I was quite cross. And the reason why I was cross was because I came up here to finish off some of the builds, try and get the cabinet all finished so we could do the filming, and I couldn't find the tools I wanted. And then about, 20 minutes later, I went to the tool rack and they were all there. So I was actually cross with myself because I was used to not having the tools, not having in the right places, having to go and find them in the arcade or under the stairs or somewhere else. And so that was my eureka moment where I realized this is going to be great. We're going to be able to do everything we need to for everything. So yeah, it was a good point. And that was also a nice one to get finished because we'd started it 1 year before.
Oh yeah, that was unfinished business. So you'll see more of these unfinished business episodes, and the goal of those is to finish the business and do it in one episode. We're not going to have dragged out series of things being finished. It's okay, you've waited long enough for this. Sprint 2, let's finish it. Gunfight, let's finish it. Anything else high on the list that needs finishing? There's stuff.
Probably a lot.
I think we got.
Operation Wolf and Operation Thunderbolt.
Well, that's Operation Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
But Wolf is sort of a refurbishment. Yeah. But I think at the last count we had about 40 broken, unworking cabs in storage, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
So there's a lot of content in that. But we'll be able to smash through it now. We were a little worried at one point that we were going to turn into a little bit too much of an arcade channel because there's so much arcade stuff to refurbish. But I think we've done a good job of spacing it out with other content, and we will be very mindful of that. Yeah. And there's always a lot of crossover. You know, I love exploring the home ports of arcade machines, and we can integrate that into some of these episodes. Yeah. So we will do that. And we were just talking about favourite games, so I think that's probably a good time to segue into choosing our favourite games from the library as it is so far. Lots more to go in there yet, but let's pick not necessarily favourite games, but games that make us feel Christmassy and remind us of Christmas past. Yeah. Richard Street. This is the one for me. Christmas. I'm going vegan.
Oh, you mean take the distance?
We'll take a game upstairs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you not found any GCHQs at all? Come on.
Go into the museum.
Copy was in a cardboard box like that size. Oh, you got one. Okay, that'll do. I'll have to do. There.
Holly, as you're closest, what's your Christmas game pick? Let's get the camera in on it.
My Christmas game pick is going to be one of the last Spectrum games I had. So I'd have had this Christmas 1983.
What is it?
Penetrator.
Of course it is.
And why this game, Holly?
I don't know.
Is it just the name?
It struck a chord with me.
Okay.
No.
What kind of game is it?
So this is actually a scrambled clone. But what's wonderful about this, it had a really good math routine for fireworks on the load screen, or at the end of the load screen. And one of the best things, flip the tape over, you had a level editor. You could edit all the levels in Scramble and change them.
And this is something you did one Christmas, is it?
Yes, indeed.
Nice. Can you remember, were you allowed downstairs on big telly to do it, or were you upstairs?
No, by then I'd have had my own colour TV in my bedroom. Yeah, sport brat.
Let's see the back of it. Oh, no screenshots. Too early for screenshots.
Yeah.
Okay. Richard, you've chosen...
I've got a little pile.
Multiple pile. Okay.
Yeah. So my first one is Rocky Horror Show. And this was for the Commodore 128. I had a wonderful Christmas. I think it was 1985 or 1986 when my dad brought home a C128. And that was the game that he brought with it. So that was what I played all over Christmas. And the reason why I picked it today is because when I came down during the week and saw you putting all of these things on, I saw that loads of nostalgia flooded back, and I went straight home and watched a YouTube long play on the whole thing and find out how I could have finished it back in the day. And then along with that, this one's for the Commodore 64.
I picked that one out as well.
That's when I realised the C128 had a Go 64 mode, and the whole world opened up to me. So yeah, Finders Keepers was the next game I got in literally January, Pocket Money or whatever it was.
Richard was obviously spoiled at Christmas. He got 4 games. For
No. These are the other two that they're not really anything to do with Christmas, but they are to do with the archive downstairs, the museum. So when I again saw you. Putting all of these games onto the shelf, and I came down, I randomly picked this game, which I've never played, but that's my point. You can go in there and you can find something that you don't know exists, but just that makes me smile just knowing that exists.
Is it EastEnders where there's always a disaster at Christmas?
Almost definitely, isn't it? So yeah.
I don't follow it, but yeah.
The very fact that something like that can be found that someone might have played that and it might have been their favourite game.
Part 1, the arcade game.
The arcade game.
You are sure it's a game, right?
Do you think it's got the dun 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 dun
yeah,
on
it's
Spectrum
definitely a
music?
game. And then,
Wow.
and the other one I just want to quickly highlight was the only game you've got for the Master System in the whole library.
Well, that's because the rest of them are upstairs on the barcode scanner machine.
I know, but we need more in the library.
yeah,
So the call out is for
Yeah.
more Master System games, please, because I love the Master System. It was a hand-me-down for me, so I got some great games for the Master System, but I couldn't pick the ones I loved because Because we don't have them down there.
So we get a lot of donations, but they're primarily disc or cassette-based donations because I think cartridge games hold their value very well, are very reliable, and are very collectible. So I think for next year, I really want to start building on the cartridge games, not console games, because we've got tons of PlayStation 2, tons of Xbox games, all of those optical media based systems, but the cartridges, we really need to build up on those. So.
I mean, we could all go charity shopping, definitely.
Charity shopping, there's a video.
Content.
Can you film Dan for me, because I can't quite reach over there. Dan, what have you chosen? What's that awful game?
So I've chosen
what a
Outrun.
game.
This is the C64 version, but I had it on the Spectrum, and quite opposite to Holly. This was the first game I owned on the Spectrum, so I got it with my Spectrum Plus 2 one Christmas. And it was sold to me by a school friend browsing the pages of Argos. I remember him showing me the box art, and he convinced me that the game graphics were identical to the box art, which of course they really are not on the Spectrum. So I was quite disappointed, to say the least, when I first played it, but I kind of made it work and got into it, and it was always fun playing the arcade soundtrack along with the game.
Came on a separate cassette.
That was the best bit of it, wasn't it?
It added a bit more to the game, so I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Christmas was not ruined.
No.
Jason, what's your pick?
My pick is the Atari 8-bit Star Raiders. The reason for this is that for my 15th birthday in 1982, my grandparents very generously bought me an Atari 800, and for Christmas that year I was bought Star Raiders on cartridge, and those two things, getting that computer and playing games like this, is what inspired me to become a games developer. So it's had a big effect on me. There's the back. It's a bit boring.
You've chosen the biggest box.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was always the big box ones. I love the big box ones, even though they crush really easily. But they just look fantastic with the cover art.
I've noticed when I've been unpacking games that I have a small selection of Linux physical released games, and they seem to have the biggest boxes. It's like they're compensating for something, these Linux users. It's over to me. So you picked Finders Keepers, which I also picked because I've got an Amstrad copy here, if I can reach it. One of my all-time favourite games for the Amstrad. Great memories of that. But also because I backed a Kickstarter recently, because it's the 40th anniversary of what's called the Magic Knight series. And this little collector's item was released, which I can open up. And there's re-releases of the Magic Knight series, including Finders Keepers in there. So that was a really nice thing to back. A really good, well-managed Kickstarter that delivered. So that's probably for sale somewhere. Magic Knight 40th Anniversary Collection. I'll put a link in the video description if I can find it. But my Christmas memory is Strider. Is this the Atari version? No, it's the Amiga version. This is the one I had because I remember one Christmas taking the Amiga down to the kitchen, setting it all up in there with all the family, all the extended family coming round for Christmas dinner, and me just ignoring them all. And the repetitive fire sound on Strider, if you've ever played it, every time you press fire, it goes pow, pow. So the kitchen was just pow, 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 pow all Christmas. And I don't know how anyone didn't murder me from that noise.
Why was it in your kitchen?
Because I wanted to be part of Christmas. I'll go and be with the family. So I took everything down there. And because I always got computer games for Christmas. So it's like, okay, I'm going to get set up. I'm going to play my new games. I'm going to play Strider and ignore everyone.
I guess Big Telly was doing Christmas things.
Yeah, Big Telly was doing Christmas. Another year, got the CD-ROM drive for the Amiga. I was down there. And I think the same year I got this, I got Police Quest 3. So I was sort of solving murders down in the kitchen as well, while the bread sauce was being cooked.
Oh, you've just reminded me about playing Monkey Island over Christmas.
Yeah.
Drinking Baileys. That was fantastic. That was really good. It's a real flashback to that.
Good. Well done for choosing all your games, and Holly for choosing Penetrator. And let's get back to our chat about, where were we? Christmas present? I can't remember now. A seamless cut now, back from our choice of favourite games. I don't think they would have noticed that cut. No. And that pretty much brings us up to date with the video releases. And then we get on to the Amiga 3000. I won't say too much about that because it is an ongoing series. It's my dream Amiga. Another thank you to Pillock, who has provided more parts. And tomorrow we're going to work on the monitor that we want to put on it, aren't we?
Yeah, we are indeed, yeah.
Confident?
Yeah, pretty confident. Range 15. Yeah, be good.
So when that episode comes out, I can guarantee you that Holly will have it fixed.
100%.
Such is a 100%. Such is
Thank
our
you, guys.
And then finally, Rob Smith, mad inventor. And it was really nice because that was a public day. It was a talk, but instead of pointing a camera at a speaker and listening to their speak and look at their talk and their presentation, he was able to spread out across the desks in the pump house and show all of his crazy inventions. So that's a kind of format I think we can do again in future. Again, an appeal to you if you have anything you'd like to show and tell. It doesn't have to be a public talk. We love to do show and tells. We used to do a lot more in the past, so please get in touch if you want to show and tell us about anything that we could commit to video. And before we move on, Dan, we've already appealed for guest speakers. If anyone's got any ideas, anyone want to make any appeals while we're speaking to the wonderful people out there?
Come and collaborate with us, I think, is probably the main thing. If there was a store here that was empty, that's for you. So come and collaborate with us. We want to work with you on content, ideas, creation, product generation, all sorts of different things. So yeah, we'll just say, just reach out. We are very approachable. We'll tell you if it's bonkers and we can't do it, or if it's great, come along and have a chat. So yeah.
We have this space. We know how lucky we are to have this space, and we want to share it with as many people as possible. Just yesterday, we had James and Jay came and visited, and I don't know when their video will come out, but they spent the day with us filming, exploring all the parts of the cave. I think they're going to make multiple episodes out of what they filmed. And I did make this appeal last year to say, if anyone wants to come and film in the cave, I don't have to be in your videos. If you're covering a specific topic and we've got the hardware, come and film yourself using it. If you want some B-roll from us, just drop us an email and we'll take some video for you. But we'd love to see more people come here and share the space with us. So please do reach out if you'd like to do that.
And especially with the library, you've said a number of times the library is a perfect example of the content, the magazines, the games, all sorts of history you've got there. So if you want to come and just do a talk.
Yeah, it's not a private archive. It's an archive to be shared and used by as many people as possible. Okay, so that brings us up to date from the past to the present. Let's just talk about where we all are. So who wants to go first?
I don't mind. I'll kick off.
Enthusiasm.
So we are currently...
This is Heber's point of view, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so. Mine and Heber's.
And the collective.
So, and the collective.
It's all sort of
it is all combined. So, and we do have to spend our time where we can, and often things just reach that panic point where you just have to spend more time on them. So this year has been a real push to get everyone's pre-orders out for the Multisystem 2, all while developing more things to keep the products flowing, because we have got new products for next year. They're complementary products, I will say. So we don't like obsoleting products or making things in any way obsolete. So
no MMS3.
No MMS3 yet. So we will see. But we've got lots of ideas, and a lot of that came from your feedback. So we've got some really interesting products. I'm hedging into the future now, though, Neil. So I'm trying
it's hard
to keep
to talk
this
about
back.
the present without talking about the future.
Present, we are just focusing on getting Multisystem 2 pre-orders and trying to get to a point where we've got them in the shop for next day delivery. That ever keeps moving further and further away from us, but we will catch up, and we intend to do that in the first part of the year. So yeah, that's the idea, and everyone's been so busy here. It's been great. It's been really nice just having so much work to do, and knowing that it's because people want our products and want to order them and want to use them. So
what kind of impact would you say the success of this year has had on Heber? Because it has kind of steered the direction of it a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, we really wanted to focus on this as our future direction, and it's really meant that that's where our full focus is. So the entire focus of Heber now is on creating products for retro gaming, classic computing, and vintage arcades.
Mad, isn't it? It's mad. It's mad that just in the few years that we've been here and come together as a collective, that Heber's gone, okay, this is what we're doing now. Yeah. We're serving the retro community and the retro market.
This was the plan from the start. So we knew that this would get us there eventually, but it's been nice to actually show that when we do make these products, people want them, and we can then design more. So it's been a hard road. It's not been easy. This has certainly been something we've had to figure out as we went along, because Hebert historically has been a business-to-business manufacturer and designer of electronics. So things in your washing machines and your tumble dryers and your showers that have Hebert logos on them, but you'll never know.
Boring.
Very boring. Over the years, but I get excited about tumble dryers still. Anyway, but yeah, so it's nice to be able to sort of pivot to the business to consumer, but that has been a huge learning curve. Dan's given us a huge amount of help on that as well, which has been really great, just getting the shop up and running, getting us a little bit more focused to the end customer, and also the support and the feedback,
everything that comes with it, the
else.
customer service, that's surely far more demanding business to consumer than it is business to business.
Definitely, and it's sort of it's difficult because if you step back a bit and spend the time to do all of the marketing you need, all the socials, all of the keeping up, all of the support, you can see why companies that just buy in a product from China or just get someone else to make it for them, they have plenty of time for all that. But when you're actually doing the designing, the approvals, the regulations, the manufacturing, the testing, the packaging, the shipping, everything, you don't have much time for that communication bit. So that's been the biggest learning curve, that if we did this the way some of the other people in the industry do, we would have more time. But we're learning how to sort of balance that as well. So yeah, it is a difficult balance, but we're getting there, I think.
Are there any ghosts you'd like to shout out to?
Yeah, thanks, Janet. You've
Janet
been
the
an
ghost.
Absolute. It's been amazing this year. So thank you so much. I know you're off Christmas caroling with Scrooge right now, but when you're back, thank you so much.
You'll find Janet the Ghost in Discord offering customer service. I don't think she signs off as Janet the Ghost in emails, but
No. But,
her true identity will remain a mystery.
she does possess a number of people over the year.
Yeah. I think I speak for everyone when I say where we are right now is slightly exhausted and in need of a nice Christmas break.
Yeah.
So we will be recharging over the next week or so. We are filming tomorrow a bit more on the Amiga, and then over the Christmas week we'll definitely put our feet up a little bit. It's very hard to stay away from this place because we truly love it so much. But we'll do our best. Tell us about the present in the arcade.
So the present in the arcade. So repairs, always going.
What's broken?
Ongoing repairs. What's broken? I got a little issue with Tetris.
Is it quicker just to say what's working?
Oh,
what a bird!
Knives out.
Commando.
I'm looking at it over there. Commando's actually fixed. It's over there, and it will go in this afternoon. We've ongoing busy times. Got a private booking this afternoon. Pete's very
Yeah. Dan's done great with the private bookings this year.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be a nice Christmas party for them. The arcade is going. It needs some more work. It needs more repairs, but we have this wonderful space to do it all in.
Yeah. Dan and Jason, where are you? Where are you at with the museum?
So, I'm really looking forward to making some new plans for displays and stuff like that. So I'll start working on that over the next kind of few weeks.
Amiga.
Yeah, Amiga display. That's long overdue.
That's future. What about now?
Well, no, that's what I'm going to be working on
plans
the
are
next
now.
few weeks. Yeah. We've got our last session on Saturday. So just going to focus on that and get that out of the way. That's fully booked, I think, pretty much. So it should be a good roundup for the end of the year.
Jason, are you relaxing at the moment after all the hard pump house work?
Well, I wouldn't say so. I mean, this has been like the last 8 months of my life, and it's kind of taken over. It's almost become like a way of life, and so it's finally coming to an end. There's still a few bits to do, but it's finally coming to an end. So I'm transitioning by boarding my loft.
Oh, wonderful! Okay,
Fantastic.
He's got the DIY bug.
Oh yeah, I know. But
will there be a video series on boarding your loft?
Yeah. If you want, I'm sure I can shove some retro in there somewhere.
Board with Jason. So let's talk about the future now, and I am going to say firmly, and you have to hold us to this, there will be no DIY projects in 2026. What? What are you laughing?
Okay.
Do you think we can stick
Who's
to
going to do
that?
it then if we don't do it ourselves?
Well, I mean, in terms of like build projects.
Well, minor build project maybe.
I'll be amazed if you don't want to move a wall.
Why do you have so little confidence in me? No, 2026. I want to make videos.
Yeah.
Not videos about DIY. I want to make videos about computers, consoles, and arcades.
Just don't film us then.
Maybe we should rebrand. Do you remember movies, games, and videos?
No.
Computers, consoles, and arcades. Do you remember that? Movies, games, and videos. It was awful. It's on ITV. Anyway, so that's my future plans are videos, and not DIY videos. What does the future hold for you, Holly?
The future for me in the arcade, so lots and lots of repairs, lots of work in here.
Less travelling.
Less travelling.
yes.
Less travelling would be nice. One of the things we really want to do, I want to do, is during this build process, we had to shut the foyer for the arcade. So, new year, new start. I need to. That is a build project. Sorry.
So
Sorry, everyone.
the arcade is 2 rooms. The foyer is the smaller room. We used it for some additional storage because we filled 2 containers, and so the idea is to empty that.
Yep. Rebuild it. Remake it as
You make
full
it
on.
sound massive. Rebuild it, doesn't it? Clean it.
Clean it. We'll
Tidy
see.
it.
We'll
Well,
see.
there is
I've
all the
got
signage.
ideas.
We got every bit of the signage for the arcade
Yeah.
delivered, like literally the week before we started the pump house. So
Yeah.
Holly's got all that to do.
So when we talk about signage, it's all the assembly to go on the ceiling, to hang signs down above every single machine, lit up to explain the history of the machine, which is something we started with when we opened the arcade. We had 3D printed signage on the top of the machines, and we didn't really keep up to date with it. They didn't update as the machines moved. Some of them snapped, and we thought, okay, it's looking a bit sorry for itself now, so let's take it all out rather than doing a bad job of it. Let's order the right stuff. And as Richard said, it arrived just as we were starting the pump house, so we didn't have time to put it up, much to Holly's annoyance.
Very much so.
Yeah, so that's going to happen.
That's going to happen. I'd also like the foyer to be more of a themed museum. So as you go in, we'll start with the 70s and the earlier machines, the electromechanical, the early black and whites.
Okay. And then ease into the next room for the 80s and
Absolutely,
a little bit of the
80s and
90s.
90s, yeah.
Will there be a glitter ball in the 70s?
Maybe.
Maybe. And really just settling into driving more events and trying to grow the arcade as a venue with that extra room, with people having an even better experience with the foyer having that 70s area.
More museum and not less arcade, but more museum features and more storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, you'll still have all the gaming and all the fun, but let's add some more value to it.
In the hope that it's successful, allow the arcade to grow even bigger.
Absolutely.
But walking before we run, as we always say here. Jason, let's go over to you. What does the future hold for you? What's the ghost of Christmas future?
Next year, 3 things I'm going to be focusing on. One is I'm going to refresh the dev den, change some of the displays. I've got lots of ideas for tweaks.
Will you take us through that in a video when you've done it? Just give us a tour?
Yeah, absolutely. Then, obviously, games development, which is something that's been kind of shelved since the pump house. So, I'm going to get back into developing new games. And then my main focus for next year is going to be getting Mastertronic off the ground as a functional publishing entity.
Catch 22, though. You need a game developed.
Well, I can do both at the same time.
Yeah.
They'll be going in tandem. And obviously, we will be open to looking at games that people offer us externally.
So I will ask this
as
to
well.
everyone, but when we sit down here at this time next year, what do you want to tell people has happened?
That we've had at least one game published, and hopefully it's been a success.
Fantastic. We'll hold him to that. Holly, I'll ask you the same question. What do you want to be saying this time next year?
Every single machine is running and we need more.
Wow.
Ambitious. Dan, what do you see in the future, 2026?
Lots of updated displays. That's my main thing, really. I think there's a bit of an expectation with visitors that they like to see what's changed in the cave, and
We have
that's-
regular visitors. Yeah,
yeah,
lots of
that's
regulars.
that's not happened a lot this year, mainly because everything is tucked away in storage. So having access to all that stuff to be able to, create new displays and areas, that's going to be my main focus. I think lots more space for hands-on gear, lots of show the new donations. So yeah.
Something I've really enjoyed is seeing you collaborate with local colleges and have a lot of the game development students come for special days, and then collaborating with Rich May from Rebellion,
Yeah.
as a current game developer, and coming to talk to the kids to inspire them and just link the past with the present, and show them some lessons that they can learn from the old games and old gameplay, good and bad lessons, because there's plenty to be learned from how things were done wrong in the past, and tell them exactly how game development studios work in the present day. It's not an insight that you would really get anywhere else. Having the chance for those kids, I would have loved it as a college student to talk to a current game developer.
Brilliant, yeah. And Rich has been around for many years as well, so he's got
really has,
experience with the kind of older games industry stuff as well.
Yeah, but he's not old.
No, he's very
Never
youthful.
so old.
Can't be old with that little sports guy. He has to contort himself to get in there. So again, thank you to Richard, and just any colleges nearby, anyone who thinks that they might benefit from bringing people to a private day. We've had game development companies themselves book away days to come here. We're open to all ideas, so just get in touch with Dan. And everyone has had a special day that's come here. Richard, Dan, sorry. What do you want to say this time next year has happened?
Oh wow! I'd like to say that we kind of delivered on the new displays. I kind of making a little bit of a promise with that really,
Yep.
and just see the kind of the last little bit of space that we've got in the cave has turned into something and not a store cupboard.
It's currently a store cupboard, and that stuff is going to come down to here. In the short term, because we're not starting a big DIY project, that store cupboard will become a store cupboard specifically for CRT displays, because because we need them accessible up there for when something goes pop, and they're awkward, bulky items to store nicely down in the storeroom here. So we'll have them on racking up there, even have them wired in so we can turn them on once a month for an hour or so and just make sure they stay happy and the capacitors are happy, and they don't just get jolted on after 20 years of not being used.
I'd really like to say that we managed to get a Dreamcast in the cave as well, because there's a lot
We
of people
have
waiting for that.
Dreamcast. It's just not on display and not wired up, and it really should.
needs to be,
Dreamcast, Xbox. We've got PlayStation 2 out there. PlayStation 3 probably needs to come out.
We
A Wii. We've got plenty. We've got. Have you seen how many
Room to
Xbox games
move.
we have in the library?
Yeah, loads. Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get them all out. Yeah, definitely. And I'm very keen not to be influenced by my own past and go, yeah, it's just about 8-bit micros and PCs. That's what I love, and Amigas. We've got to spread our wings and have all these things. We haven't had too many people complain about the lack of Dreamcast, but as time goes on, as people get more nostalgic, they'll be wanting it.
Well, Gen 6 is 25 plus years old now, so that's what we need to get.
It's a
it's
good
not.
system.
It's only 5. It's only 5.
Sorry, Rich.
Richard, what does the future hold for you?
Well, I think I'm always wearing lots of hats into my different roles. But if I've got to sort of generally think about everything in the future, I'm going to go for focusing on the 5 Ps. So here we go.
Pizza?
So, no,
Pasta?
5 Ps. So we've got products. That's the first P. So creating new products that you want to see. And hand in hand, that goes with preservation, because our efforts next year will be trying to make more of those products, preserve some of this older technology, and use new technology to do more preservation efforts in all of the areas that we cover, the arcade, the computers, and the consoles. So that's 2 Ps. Partnerships is really important to us, so we want to do more partnerships with all of the things we're doing. And people goes with partnerships. So we want to contact more people, bring more people in, and basically try and expand on that area. So that's 5. Oh, the last one, going on from what Jason said, is publishing. I strongly think that publishing is an important part of things that we'll do next year.
And that you're not saying that specifically as Hebrew, you're saying that as the collective. aren't you?
That's what I'm saying about all my
benefit all of
hats.
us,
So I'm trying to cover all the different roles. So we're not coming in every day thinking only about products, but that is an important part. We're not coming in every day thinking only about content and preservation and that sort of thing, but it's an important part. People and the publishing goes hand in hand with all of that sort of effort that we're putting in.
And your favourite P? Printing.
Oh, I could have gone 6. Now you tell me. Yeah, printing. Yeah, it does feel a little bit like Groundhog Day sometimes, just coming in 3D printing. But to be fair, they work very hard, and they will work over Christmas while I'll be drinking a sherry. And yes, I probably think of a few more P's now.
Prosecco.
Prosecco.
And that preservation aspect spreads to everything, every part of what we do. Dan's printing and the decisions we make over when original artwork has gone too far over and we need to replace it, how to sympathetically do that, the materials that we use. You're very, very careful about the type of vinyl you use and things like that. So you'll see lots of that, lots more restorations. And the way that Jason develops clinging with white fingernails clinging on tight to his original 286 Amstrad machine to develop on, and refusing to use emulation to develop.
Has to have spinning discs.
Yeah, keep the old ways.
So I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with us today. Once again, from all of us, a huge thank you for watching our videos, for subscribing, for getting this far into this video. I know it's been a long one, but it's been nice to chat and have your company for Christmas. I hope you enjoyed a mince pie while listening to us. Have a wonderful Christmas. We will be back with a bang in the new year, and look forward to everything that the future holds here at the Retro Collective. Thank you, everyone, and a Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.